So today, we're going to dive into Accenture's 2025 Tech Vision report, and let me tell you, it paints a pretty startling picture of our very near future. We are right on the edge of a world where AI isn't just a tool that we tell what to do, but an autonomous partner that actually acts on its own. So what in the world does that future look like?
And really, the entire report, all of it, boils down to this one single question. As AI's capabilities just explode, we have to face the one thing that could hold it all back, our own willingness to trust it. And that, right there, is the core idea we're going to explore. I mean, to really get where we're headed, you've got to look at just how fast we're moving. Back in 1997, an AI beating a chess grandmaster was a massive global event. Fast forward to 2022, and boom, ChatGPT puts that kind of power and more into literally everyone's pocket. The report projects that by 2025, we are walking into a brand new era where AI stops just taking orders and starts taking initiative.
Okay, so how does AI make this giant leap to full-on autonomy? Well, it all starts with this fascinating concept the report calls the cognitive digital brain. Think of it like this. Every single time a company uses AI for marketing or for logistics or for customer service, they're essentially building a single neuron. The cognitive digital brain is what happens when you wire all of those neurons together into one unified system, a single learning, decision-making brain for the whole organization. The report breaks this brain down into 4 layers. It all starts with the knowledge layer, which just sucks in and organizes data. Then you have the models that reason over that data, but here's the crucial step, the 3rd layer, agents. These are AIs that can act on their own, autonomously. And then tying it all together is the architecture, which is the backbone that lets this whole thing scale.
And that right there brings us to the core paradox of all of this. We can build an AI with practically limitless potential, but its actual power? Well, that's going to be defined by something much simpler, our ability to actually trust it.
And look, this isn't just some vague feeling. 77% of executives agree you can only get to AI's real benefits when you build on a foundation of trust. Trust isn't just a nice-to-have feature, it's the entire platform. The report uses a really brilliant analogy to make this idea super clear. Think about a child. At first we put up guardrails everywhere. But as our trust in their judgment grows, we slowly expand their autonomy. We let them cross the street by themselves, then maybe play outside the fence. It's the exact same idea with AI. We can only allow our systems to be as autonomous as we truly trust them to be. So let's look at the first major trend, where this trust is really being put to the test, what the report calls the binary Big Bang. We're talking about trusting AI to write and run our software, using AI agents to autonomously build entirely new digital systems from scratch. And get this isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. The number of research papers on these agentic systems has absolutely skyrocketed, showing a 17-fold increase in just over 2 years. The binary Big Bang isn't coming, it's happening right now, challenging the very idea of how software is made.
Okay, so that leads us right into our second trend. If every single business is using AI to talk to customers, how do we avoid a future where every brand sounds exactly the same? And maybe more importantly, how do you build an AI personality that your customers can actually genuinely trust?
I mean, the choice here couldn't be more stark. On one side, you've got this generic, soulless AI that just does its job but erodes everything that makes a brand unique. But on the other, you have a personified AI, one that's been trained on your company's values, its voice. It doesn't just complete a transaction, it builds a relationship. This is about encoding your brand's DNA directly into your AI.
This third trend is where the digital and the physical worlds just smash together. We're talking about the moment these powerful AI models get a physical body. And this is where trust becomes everything, right? Because we have to be absolutely sure that robots with AI brains will act safely and predictably out here in the real world. I'm sure you recognize this quote from Isaac Asimov. For decades, this was pure science fiction. Well, not anymore. This is now a real-world engineering problem. We are literally having to build the rules, the guardrails, to make sure we can trust autonomous robots in our homes, in our factories, and on our streets.
And wow, the money is just pouring in to make this happen. Funding for humanoid robotics more than tripled in less than a year. This isn't some niche experiment anymore. It's a massive economic bet that we will solve this trust problem and bring these machines into our daily lives.
All right, for our final trend, let's bring it all back home to people. This is about creating a virtuous cycle, a learning loop where employees and AI make each other smarter.
But, and this is a big but, this loop only works if there's a deep-seated trust between the workforce and their employer about how this technology is actually going to be used.
But the data here, it kind of shows a disconnect, a potential trust gap. See, nearly every company plans to roll out AI tools, but less than half of them plan to make those tools significantly accessible for their own employees to automate their work. That hesitation could end up stifling innovation from the ground up.
So it all comes down to this, doesn't it? What is the fundamental goal of AI in the workplace? Is it just to automate tasks and remove people from the equation? Or is it to empower people, to give them the tools to innovate and completely reimagine their own work? The answer to that is going to define the future of work for all of us. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's pretty simple, actually. The race for AI supremacy is not going to be won by who has the most processing power. The winners are going to be the ones who master the art of building trust with their systems, with their customers, and with their own people.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. For all the talk about what AI is capable of, maybe we've been asking the wrong question all along. This isn't just a technical problem we have to solve, it's a human one. The future really isn't about what AI can do, but what we, as people, will ultimately trust it to do.